Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I have some news, and it's not great news. So everybody knows the CPI data was coming out, so that tells us where or what type of inflation we are at. It came out yesterday, and it's not really good. I mean, they present it as not being as high. It did rise, 0.1% in August. I have my notes over here, so I'm going to be looking over there. So honestly, I think inflation is probably at between 10 and 25%. So they're still trying to manipulate the numbers. We know that prices are still crazy high. So what we need to understand is how this impact is going to impact the things that we buy, where we go, things we sell, things people want to buy houses, people want to buy a new car. So all this is going to impact that. So what the CPI, basically what it's tracking is it tracks how often Americans like you and me are spending money and what they're spending their money on. So that's in a nutshell. They're nosy as heck. They want to know what's going on. So the price of goods go up, and they're tracking. So the goods go up, but your income from the money from your income earned goes down. So this is terrible. So this is what causes inflation. So higher prices, but wages stay low, and that causes inflation as well. So there are many things that businesses are probably going to do to offset this. So they'll probably either stop hiring, they'll have a hiring freeze, they'll do temporary layoffs. They could also do budget cuts, and they may even ask people to take a lower pay cut. I know during the pandemic, some people here, even at our business, was asked to take smaller pay cuts or take hour cuts. So they would only work maybe 6 hours on a Friday and 8 hours during the week, no overtime at all. So just like I said before, so the pandemic, from where the pandemic started, we've seen a total decrease in basically everything that we did. Stock market went down, everything just completely just dove, you know what I mean? And then we've been riding along, so we've seen that total incline or decrease, and then we're basically seeing a sideways, and we've seen an uphill trend, and now we are back on another downhill trend. So this is all stemmed from pandemic. It goes with saying is that we may not be out of this thing for a couple of years, and it is completely looking like that. So but let's get into some more of this. So there are many things that businesses are going to do, and this is across the board, guys. So don't even feel like you're the only one. Even though we saw gas prices come down, what you were paying $10 for, you ended up paying $15 for. Then they lowered it, so you're paying $14 or $13 for that, but it's still higher than the $10 you were originally paying. So you're not really going to see lower inflation. You're not going to see it because the prices are still sky high. All right, so we've been noticing even school supplies, your energy at home rose about 40%. We can see that on our gas bill. So what we paid on gas and electric used to be $200. Now we're paying $250. That's a lot. That's a huge increase. Medical expenses rose 0.8%. Co-pays, wow, over 5% from last year. vehicle purchases. So used cars, now get this. So used cars went sky high, right? Like 8 months ago. So the used car value was out of control, right? And then new car value went down. But now it's flip-flop. So now a used car, those values are coming down, but new cars went up 0.8%. So they must be able to get some of those new cars distributed out. So that's probably what we're saying. We have more. So the truckers went back to work. They're getting more goods distributed throughout the United States. So car insurance and repairs as well went up. Get this. So food, transportation, and rent. We know those are the three major hitters that's really affecting lower middle class. I mean, it just is. It's killing us. So, a lot of this inflation really isn't going to impact the rich. They're not really gonna feel the hurt of it all. And Social Security is going up next year as well. So Jerome Powell, you hear about Jerome Powell all the time. So he is the one. He's the money man. He's the guy that sets interest rates. This year alone, so we increased interest rates 4 times already this year. So it's crazy. So with rising of interest rate, he's saying that he's trying to get the inflation down by raising the interest rates, but it's not working. So what we need to do as individuals is we need to set more money aside to feel that pain, and it's gonna be painful over the next year. I have no doubt this time next year it's probably going to feel even worse. I hate to say that, but it probably will. So you want to play defense. We need to protect ourselves. That's what we need to do. And sinking funds. So if you don't have a fund for medical, what was the other one? Car repairs, they've increased. And basically your basic expenses, so your electric's going up, your gas is going up, even water, we're seeing a huge spike. Good grief. So the solutions that we can find for that is to prepare, and you have to prepare more. So we need savings funds for those sections that are going up: your rent, your food, your transportation, medical is going up. All those right there, those are our big ones. So people who have kids, their co-pays are going up. The price of that visit or that care has gone up. It's just tremendous. Emergency funds. If you don't have an emergency fund, you're gonna need one. And also, if you have high interest credit cards or debts, credit cards, they're going to kill you in the next year. You're going to use them, but you won't be able to pay them back. So I would suggest paying them off. If you can, get rid of them completely. You don't have to close the accounts, but cut up the cards. Don't use them, especially in this time right now, because everything else is going up. Once you start using those cards, you will not be able to pay them back because interest rates are going up even more. So if you can pay anything off that you can pay off, I would pay it off now. Now is the time to really buckle down, man. Forget Christmas and stuff like that. It's basic need time right now. So you're gonna want to protect yourself with emergency funding and your 3 to 6 months funds as well. You're gonna want to start beefing those up. So any extra dollars that you can put towards major households, forget about saving for your kid's car. You need this is dire. The next probably 6 to 8 months is going to be, it's going to be pretty rough. So if you have lots of debt, get it paid off, start emergency fund and a 3 to 6 months funding as well. You're going to need it. You need to beef up your food, your transportation, and your rent, or if you own a house, because those rates are going to go up as well. I mean, there are things that we can do, but there's only so much that we can do if your dollar isn't going to go very far. So just be diligent, guys. Don't waste, try not to waste anything as of right now, because my phone keeps sliding down, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to prop it up here. Okay. So that's what the CPI, it basically, how often we're spending money and what we're spending our money on. As right now, the food, transportation, and shelter is the three major things that Americans are spending their money on right now. We don't have extra money because of gas, and food prices are crazy, out of control. But they're saying it's going to get worse before it gets better. I'll tell you, we started the debt-free journey in January, and I can say we're in a much better place. But if we hadn't started paying off, odd medical bills, miscellaneous credit cards that were out there, I can see how families who have children can really get in despair very quickly, because children are expensive and they eat a lot. They need care, they need food. I mean, the amount that they eat and food alone, they have extracurricular activities at school, they have, school, their books, their, the clothes that you have to buy, the supplies that they're going to need through the year. Families are just going to be devastated. It's crazy. So, yeah. So right now, be on the defense and save as much as you can. Transfer monies that was extra money from another spot and put it into your main house. And so food, shelter, and clothing, man, those are the three main things, and transportation. It doesn't look good. I mean, they say it only went up 0.1% in August. It's got to be higher than that. I mean, there's no way. Just on our electric bill alone, it went from $200 to $250. That is a huge jump. That's 40%. Yeah, that's huge. So we've been shutting stuff off. We shut down the pool early. I'm thinking about draining the hot tub and getting rid of that electric, because in the wintertime I like to use it because I have really bad hips, but I can do without, just to save money. It's kind of a luxury item anyway. So anything you can do to cut back, definitely make a plan, devise a plan in your household. Cut back on Christmas, cut back on birthdays, cut back on allowances. You may have to cut some of those things out for your children. I mean, I hate to say it, but we used to do Black Friday. We don't do Black Friday anymore because we just couldn't afford it anymore. When you're buying for 12 or 15, different people, it becomes a big hit in your wallet. And I'd rather be out of debt than get back in debt just to, save face at Christmas. We don't do Christmas anymore just for that. The adults, we buy for, my nephews, the younger ones, but that is about it. So you might have to change your traditions around as well to try to fight this thing. And I honestly, I don't see it getting any better anytime in the near future. I think we're talking like a year away. Gosh, I hope to gosh that Democrats do not get back in the House because they have messed this country up so much. They're giving money away like it's water to other countries, and we are left with the bill. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe we need to revamp the student loan system, but honestly, if they would just lower the interest rate to 0 for the next 5 years, I think a lot of people could get out of debt. You don't have to give people free money or pay anything. Just set the interest rates to 0 so that we can get our balances down. That would make me so happy, is if interest rates went to 0. Not that we don't have to pay anymore, but just take them to 0 so that we can pay the balances down, because it's the interest rate that really kills. Any minimum payment that you're making, you're not touching, you're still gaining interest, so your balance is still going to go up because you're not even reaching the minimum just to sustain what it is you owe. Gosh. All right, guys, I don't want to start harping. It's already too long, but yeah, the CPI data for inflation came out yesterday, and those were the findings. So knowledge is power, guys. Protect yourself, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.